Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens. Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria! Here's Warner. Here comes a headed jam. Counted for two. Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved. What a game. Smack to the left. That is gone. Lopez Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Counting and a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. And why not?
Good afternoon and happy Saturday. We are live in Brownsville, Texas for this city matchup in District 32-5A. We have a great one here for you folks. The Lady Lobos of Lopez High School come to town to compete against the Lady Raiders of Rivera High School. Nacho here on the mic for y'all this afternoon, and we have a good one here, folks. The top two teams here in the District 32-5A getting set for this matchup this afternoon. So both teams coming off great victories, as the Lady Raiders coming into today from a 3-0 shutout victory over Ed Couch Elsa. That was back on Tuesday. And the Lady Lobos coming off their fourth consecutive shutout victory against Donna North. And we take a look at the current standings here. Brownsville Rivera currently unbeaten in district play, 11 wins and not a single defeat. And just behind them, the Lady Lobos, ranked number 2 in District 32-5A, 9 victories, 2 losses. One of them, of course, coming from earlier this season against the Lady Raiders, and the other one against Ed Couch Elsa. So the Lady Lobos looking to extend their win streak and shutout streak as they come to compete against the Lady Raiders of Rivera. We're going to go to commercial break, and when we return, we'll go over the rosters of both teams. And I had a chance to talk to Coach Nieto of the Lady Lobos, so I'll give you a brief summary over that conversation. You're going to want to stick with us here on the RSO Network. We'll be back.
Oh my! Book your summer getaway today and start making memories poolside with the people you care about most. Visit sopadre.com.
At Brownsville ISD, your future starts now. Our dedicated teachers inspire learning every day. Explore your passion with award-winning fine arts, championship sports programs, and cutting-edge technology in every classroom. From career and technical education to dual enrollment college credit courses, BISD prepares students for success, no matter what path they choose. Brownsville ISD, the best choice.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us.
Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Cameron County has emerged as one of the most promising regions in Texas. We're experiencing unprecedented growth. New infrastructure projects are being developed. We're a leader in spaceflight research and have become an energy export powerhouse. Let's keep Eddie Trevino as our Cameron County judge.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
The standard of excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. Free your Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
Cameron County has emerged as one of the most promising regions in Texas. Our property tax rate is among the lowest in the RGV. Our communities are safer. Economic development is soaring. Thousands of high-paying jobs have been created. Let's keep Eddie Trevino as our Cameron County judge.
The standard of excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. Free your Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
At Marine Military Academy, we educate those who dare to achieve. Those eager to control their future before it controls them. Those who can follow a path so they can eventually make their own. Those ready to join in order to stand out. Welcome to MMA, forging tomorrow's leaders.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
to take a new look, maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable is for you, Buick's your brand. For your Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
I want to be a doctor.
I want to play professional soccer.
I want to play at Carnegie Hall.
At Brownsville ISD, dreams take shape with nationally recognized academic programs, championship athletics, and distinguished fine arts. Success isn't just a goal, it's our tradition. The best choice for your child's journey is Brownsville ISD.
Sunny Glen Children's Home has provided a place of hope for every child since 1936. If you'd like more information on Sunny Glen and the services we offer, please visit us at www.sunnyglen.org.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us.
Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Elevation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. For your GMC, we're professional grade.
At Brownsville ISD, every journey starts with a strong foundation.
Our academic programs inspire curiosity and critical thinking.
In athletics, students unleash their potential while diving into school spirit.
Creativity shines throughout our various fine arts programs.
Our career and technical education provides students with essential skills for the workforce.
With dual enrollment courses, students can earn college credits while still in high school.
Brownsville ISD.
One team.
One dream.
And we are back on the RSO Network here in Brownsville as the Lady Lobos of Lopez getting set to take on the unbeaten district play Lady Raiders of Rivera. So both teams still getting their last minute warm-ups in before the match. And I had a chance to talk to Coach Nieto of the Lady Lobos. And some of the things I asked her was, what are we gonna do here, folks? What are we gonna do to get this victory over the Lady Raiders? And she said, teamwork, teamwork, teamwork is what it's gonna take. And the last time I saw Coach Nieto and the Lady Lobos, they went on to beat Brownsville Pace 3-2 on a 5-set thriller. And I asked her as well, could we potentially see something like that today? She said, hopefully not. And we're trying to get a 3-set sweep here this afternoon. So she said it won't be easy, but she has full faith in this team that they can get it done to give the Raiders their first loss in district play. So, looking at the lineup here from both teams, over at the visitor side for Brownsville Lopez, some of the players to look out for, according to Coach Nieto, is number 13, Karen Rangel, and number 15, Jasmine Lauera, is what she calls her, Cortinas. And over at the Raider side, some of the players to look out for, captain number 13, Gianna Cantu, and number 24, Zandria Johnson. So great matchup, a great game we're gonna have here in just a couple minutes. As both teams now under 1 minute away before we get our first serve on the court. If you're just joining us, we're getting set for this afternoon's matchup in District 32-5A. The top two teams here in the district, Brownsville Rivera, unbeaten 11-0 in district play, and Brownsville Lopez, right under them, 9 wins, 2 losses, as the Lady Lobos look to hand the Lady Raiders their first loss. Meanwhile, the Raiders trying to extend their unbeaten streak in hopes to be in high contention of the district title. So both teams grouping up for their last minute prep talk as we get set here for this afternoon matchup. We're gonna go to a short commercial break, and when we return, I believe player introductions will take place, and then we can get this game underway. So stick with us live here on the RSO Network. We'll be back.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
There's no place like Sherryland ISD. Returning students need to district work here, learn here, or tuition-based enrollment. Register now. Call 956-584-6408. Sherryland ISD. Excellence is our tradition.
Time to take a new look, maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable is for you, Buick's your brand. For you, Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
This summer, settle in and reconnect with one another. South Padre Island has so many great places to stay. Condos, resorts, and hotels. Oh my! Book your summer getaway today. And start making memories poolside with the people you care about most. Visit SoPadre.com.
At Brownsville ISD, your future starts now. Our dedicated teachers inspire learning every day. Explore your passion with award-winning fine arts, championship sports programs, and cutting-edge technology in every classroom. From career and technical education to dual enrollment college credit courses, BISD prepares students for success, no matter what path they choose. Brownsville ISD, the best choice.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us.
Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Cameron County has emerged as one of the most promising regions in Texas. We're experiencing unprecedented growth. New infrastructure projects are being developed. We're a leader in spaceflight research and have become an energy export powerhouse. Let's keep Eddie Trevino as our Cameron County judge.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you.
All right, and we are back on the Arso Network. Both teams have been introduced. The national anthem has been played, and we are ready for this afternoon matchup between the Lady Lobos of Lopez High School and the Lady Raiders of Rivera. Lady Raiders breaking out of the huddle as the Lobos get their last-minute preparations in. As we get set for this afternoon kickoff. Those of you just tuning in, we have a great afternoon matchup here between Lopez and Rivera, the top two teams here in District 32-5A, as the Lady Raiders look to extend their unbeaten district record. But the Lopez Lady Lobos looking to hand them their first loss. The top two teams here in district play getting set for this afternoon matchup. Serving first for the Lady Raiders is going to be number 1, Tiffany Garza, to serve for the Lady Raiders. And away we go. Ball goes high, nearly missed on the return there for the Lobos. Picked up by the Raiders. And the first point of the match goes to Brownsville Lopez. Serving for the Lady Lobos is number 10. That's going to be Shalene Granado on the serve. Lady Raiders with the setup and a quick hit by number 24, Zandria Johnson on that hit. And we have a tie game, one apiece. Serving now for the Lady Raiders, number 17, Mia Guerrero. And picked up by the Lady Lobos. Lobos with the setup. Tip over the blockers. They won't get it through, and that'll be a point for the Lady Lobos. Great play set up by number 13 for Lopez, Karen Rangel. Serving now for the Lady Lobos, number 23, Kaylee Granado. Raiders with the setup, tip over the defender and in. Again, 24, Zandria Johnson on the point there. Raiders now up to serve, and leading the serve, number 23, Elisa Cuellar on the serve. Picked up by the Lady Lobo libero as they send this one over the net, over the blocker, and picked up by the Lady Raiders. Rivera now on the return, picked up by Lopez for a chance for the counter. Powerful hit picked up by the libero of the Lady Raiders. Rivera just gonna send this one over the net, picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup, and won't get a good set there. That's gonna give the Raiders a chance to respond. Tipped over the defenders and quickly brought up by the Lobos. Another setup. Doesn't get the block they like, but do get it over the net. And a great pickup by the libero. We got a great sequence here, folks, as the Lady Lobos send this one over the net. Rivera now with the attack. Blocked and picked up by the Raiders. And we keep this sequence going. All gas, no brakes here on this set here. As the Raiders now with the setup and the attack, and a great hit by Zandria Johnson. A great sequence there on that last play. We'll take a look at that replay there. And a great setup there for that point. Raiders now looking to set this one up. Powerful hit picked up by the Lobos. Here's the response. Big hit, and that'll give Lopez the equalizer. Great attack there by number 15, Jasmine Cortinas, on that play. Serving for the Lady Lobos now, number 13, Karen Rangel, one of the senior captains here on this team, as they look to get their first lead of the match. Rivera picking it up, get a tip over, nicely done by the Lobo defender there, number 2, Paula Solis, as she sends this one over and gets them the point. Great attack there by Brownsville Lopez. That'll be their first lead of the match here in this first set. As we pull up that replay. A great attack there over the defender, too much power. Not able to respond on the Raiders side. Raiders now looking to set this one up. Lobs it over quickly, but picked up by Lopez. Here's the counter. Almost misses it, but greatly picked up by Rivera. Send this one over. Brownsville Lopez now with the setup. A little bit close to the net. Not able to get a good hit there as the Raiders look to respond. And picked up by Lopez. Lopez now with the attack. Picked up by Brownsville Rivera. Here's the return now. Big hit and strong awareness by the Lobos. Will send it over the net. Rivera with the setup now. Short attack picked up by Lopez. Here's the return. Just get it over the net and in. The ball rose in favor of the Lobos, and that'll give them that point as they are now up 5-3. Karen Rangel still serving for the Lady Lobos. Sends this one too far behind the line, and that point will go to Rivera. Brownsville Rivera now down by 1, looking to serve it up now. Number 24, I believe that is Andrea Johnson. Doesn't get it through the net, and that'll go to the Lady Lobos. Serving now for Lopez, number 5, Stephanie Ochoa. Gets the ball rolling in her favor and in. And the Lady Lobos with an early strike here, up 7-4 as they look to push the momentum in their favor. Lopez now gets it over the net, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup, doesn't get it through the net, and that'll go to Lopez again. Some small frustration now building on the Raiders side of the court as the Lady Lobos continue to serve. Raiders now with the setup. Here's the hit, picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup now, fake setup, doesn't get it. Point to Lopez. A great fake setup there will force Coach Guerra and the Raiders to call a timeout. Let's see if we can pull up the replay real quick. As the fake setup goes for number 10 on Lopez, that's Shalene Granado. And the Lady Lobos with a 9-4 lead. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, let's see how Rivera responds. Stay with us here on the RSO Network.
I'm Jason Starkey with Gallery Homes.
Here at Gallery, we make building your new home simple and stress-free. From sales to selections, we handle every step so you can enjoy the journey to your new home. This is Gallery, where your dreams become reality.
And we are back on the RSO Network here. The Lady Lobos bringing a lot of momentum early on in this first set with a 9-4 lead here in the first set. Still serving for the Lobos, number 5, Stephanie Ochoa. And the Raiders now looking for a way to bounce back. That's going to be in, a great hit by the Lady Raiders. And let's pull up that replay there. Nicely set up attack and in for the Raiders there. Rivera now to serve, gets it over the net. Powerful serve, and that'll go through for Rivera. Scores now 6-9. Rivera on a 2-point streak now. Serving for Rivera's number 21, Cassandra Pardo. And away we go. Another powerful serve. Quickly sends it over to the Rivera side as Lopez tries to find a way to counter the powerful serve there. Raiders now with the setup. Blocked by the Lobos. And here they come with the return. Lopez picked up by the Raiders as they look for the setup here and the attack. Picked up by Lopez. Meets at the net. They do have a net violation, and that'll go to Brownsville Rivera. So Rivera coming off the timeout on a three-point streak here. Continue to serve it up here. Now they get some positive reaction from the powerful serves there as the Lady Lobos look to set this one up. Here's the attack. They don't get it over the net. Not sure what happened there. Maybe she thought they were still setting up on the second touch, but that point will go to Rivera. Rivera coming in hot from their timeout, now only down by 1. Rivera with the serve, picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup and the attack, but it goes out. And we have an even game here, folks. 9 apiece here in the first set. Cassandra Pardo with the amazing serves, still getting it in for Rivera. And Lopez finally with some response there with the attack, picked up by Rivera. Here's the setup now for the counter. Number 30 with the attack, picked up by the Lady Lobos. Lopez with the hit, but it will go out. And the Raiders extend their streak, and now they are back in the lead, 10-9. Raiders on a 6-point run and get themselves back up 10-9. In comes the serve, and not able to respond will be an ace for Cassandra Pardo and the Lady Raiders. Now frustration on the Lopez side. Doing everything they can to be able to return the serve. Rivera, in comes the serve. Nicely picked up there near the net, gets it over the blocker and sends it to the Rivera side. Now with the hit. Powerful and in. Nicely hit there by the Lady Raiders. Puts them up 12-9 now. Brownsville Rivera on an 8-point run here in the lead. Still serving for the Lady Raiders, Cassandra Pardo on the serve. Nearly missed on the pickup there of the Lady Lobos. Sends this one over quick. And a nice dive there by the libero of the Raiders. Carry call, won't get it through, and that'll give the point to Lopez. A much needed shift in their direction. Substitution being made for both teams. And serving now for the Lady Lobos, number 16. Correction, 15, Jasmine Cortinas. Lopez on the setup now. Will fake the set. Raiders with the return. Powerful hit and picked up by the Lobos. Goes over the net, picked up by the Lopez Lobos. As they look to return it, get it through. Picked up by the libero of the Raiders. Rivera now with the return. Doesn't get it through. Lopez is going to send it quickly over the net to give the Raiders another chance. Blocked and nearly misses the return there as Lopez sends it over. Could have gone out of bounds, but gets picked up by the Raiders. No one set there for the return there, but great awareness by number 5 of Rivera. Lopez now with a powerful hit. Misdirection will give the point to the Lady Lobos. Lopez closing in on the lead of the Raiders, now down by 1. As Cortinas and the Lobos serve it in. Not being able to get picked up on the return there. And we got a tie game. Jasmine Cortinas still serving for the Lobos to tie the game now, 12 apiece. Lopez on a 3-point run. Raiders with the setup now, hit by number 30, blocked. And a net violation against the Raiders will give that point to the Lopez Lobos, and they have the lead yet again. Still serving Jasmine Cortinas for the Lobos. Big hit by the Raiders, and not able to return the hit there. That'll tie the game now, 13 apiece. Substitution now for the Raiders. In comes number 23, Elisa Cuellar on the court. And serving for the Lady Raiders, number 13, Gianna Cantu. In comes the serve, picked up by the Lobos. Lobos with the setup a little bit outside of the line there, picked up by Rivera. Here's the return by number 30. Lightly tipped over the net, picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the return, send this one far, nearly goes out of bounds, but picked up by the libero of the Raiders. Send it over the net, goes too far, out of direction, 1-2, and out. Brownsville Rivera with the lead now, 14-13. We're gonna keep a close eye on number 30 on the Raiders side, Brianna Ibarra, getting some good hits over the net to give some disruption on the Lopez side. Rivera now with the serve over the net. Some miscue there, and a strong hit by Cortinas on Lopez side. An ace, a great kill there by number 30, as I mentioned, Brianna Ibarra with the hit. Let's see if we can pull up that replay there. And a nice kill shot there by Rivera. Now in comes the serve, Lady Lobos looking for the return. Don't get it, Lady Raiders with the setup now. Blocked, but goes out of bounds. Point goes to Rivera. Coach Nieto letting her player know, you got to keep it in on the block as the Raiders serve it up yet again. Lobos now with a chance to return the hit. Picked up greatly, not be able to be returned. Powerful shot there will give the Lady Lobos the point. Substitution now, in comes number 13 for the Lobos, Karen Rangel. And serving for the Lady Lobos, number 2, Paola Solis. Lady Raiders now with the setup and the attack. Blocked, met in the net. Another block, nearly gets it over, but doesn't, as the Lobos get it over the net, and here come the Raiders. Raiders now on the attack. Goes out of bounds as the point will be given to Brownsville Lopez. Paola Solis setting up to serve again for the Lady Lobos. Only down by 1. Picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. Here's the response. Just lobs it over. Lopez now with the attack. Just lobs it over the blocker. Doesn't get it through. Lady Raiders with a great attack. That was number 5, Kiera Parker on that hit. Raiders now with the serve by the libero. Number 1, Tiffany Garza. Lady Lobos looking to send it over the net. They do! Great hit there by number 13, Karen Rangel, to give the deficit down by 1. Serving for Rivera now, number 10, Shalene Granado. Lady Raiders looking for the return. They don't get the hit over the net, and we have a tie game. Lady Lobos getting ready for the serve. Gets it over the net. Picked up by the libero. Here's the setup. Don't get the nice setup as it gets too close to the net, not able to be hit. And Brownsville Lopez with the lead yet again. Lopez now with a chance to extend the lead. Picked up by the libero of the Raiders. Here's the setup. Picked up by the Lobos, just gonna send it quickly over the net. And Raiders with the powerful hit, but picked up by Lopez. The net violation will result in the point going to Rivera as substitutions now being made. In comes 17 and 21. That's going to be Mia Guerrero and Cassandra Pardo, who we know had a great 8-point run earlier with the serves. Mia Guerrero serving now for the Lady Raiders. And picked up by the Lady Lobos. Here's the setup. In the attack. And it's going to go far back. And point goes to Brownsville Lopez. A great attack there by Karen Rangel. We're going to keep an eye on her as well, along with Brianna over on the Rivera side. Serving now for the Lady Lobos, 23, Kaylee Granado. Lady Raiders get it over the net. Just enough touch there, but picked up by Lopez. Here's the response from the Raiders. Lopez, 1-2, don't get it through. Lady Raiders with the point. And we have a tie game, 19 apiece. Still serving for the Lady Raiders. Number 21, Cassandra Pardo. That won't go through. And point goes to Brownsville Lopez. Serving now for the Lady Lobos, number 13, Karen Rangel. In comes the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup. Picked up quickly by Lopez as they look to counter. Cortina sends it over the net. Picked up by Rivera. 24 with a powerful hit and picked up by Lopez. Cortinas again with the attack. Gets it blocked. Raiders get it in time. And here's the setup again. And a powerful kill by number 24, Zandria Johnson. And we got a tie game again, folks. 20 apiece here in the first set. Rivera up to serve. Gets it over the net. Picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup. And the attack by Cortinas will go out of bounds. Point two, Brownsville Rivera. Rivera now doing everything they can to extend this lead to close out the first set as the Lopez try to hang on to keep themselves in contention. Serve picked up by the libero of the Lobos as they look to return it, just send it over the net. Rivera now with the attack. And a quick return over to the Rivera side for another setup. Another powerful hit by number 24, Zandria Johnson. That'll give the Raiders an extended lead. Let's take a look at that replay on that last attack there. Zandria Johnson putting every ounce of power in that hit to give the Raiders now a 2-point lead. As she sets it up to serve, picked up by the Lady Lobos. Here comes the return by Cortinas, picked up by Rivera. Here's the setup now, number 21 with the hit. Again, picked up by Cortinas. Lobos now with the return, gets the roll in their favor as the Raiders have a chance to set it up now. A powerful hit by number 21, Cassandra Pardo will give the Raiders the point. And that'll force Coach Nieto and the Lobos to call a timeout. 23-21, 23-20 correction in favor of the Raiders. We'll be back on RSO Network.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us.
Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Elevation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. For your GMC, we're professional grade.
And we are back on the RSO Network here. Brownsville Rivera with a 3-point lead here over Brownsville Lopez. Raiders needing 2 more points to close out the first set, as Lopez doing everything they can to hang on here. Serve will go out of bounds, and that will be given to the Lady Lobos. Might just be the momentum they need to get themselves back in this set. Serving now for Brownsville Lopez, number 5, Stephanie Ochoa, up to serve for the Lady Lobos. In it comes the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders don't get the best setup there, but still gets it over the net. Give Lopez a chance for the return. Cortinas with the hit, doesn't go over the net. And Rivera now with the set point. Substitution being made, in comes number 30. Apart from Zandria Johnson, another player we're looking at, Brianna Ibarra, on this matchup. In comes the serve by Cassandra Pardo. And a powerful ace will give the Lady Raiders the first set. So going into set 2, we're gonna go to commercial break. And when we return, we'll get this game underway. Brownsville Lopez 21 and Brownsville Rivera 25.
At Marine Military Academy, we educate those who dare to achieve. Those eager to control their future before it controls them. Those who can follow a path so they can eventually make their own. Those ready to join in order to stand out. Welcome to MMA, forging tomorrow's leaders.
Fiber, this is our home. Take a look at what we do.
This summer, it's time to go outside and get some air. Explore a pirate ship. Or go horseback riding on the beach. And you can't forget about all the fun on the bay. South Padre Island has so much to do for the whole family. Book your summer getaway today. Visit SoPadre.com.
And we are back on the RSO network here. As the Lady Raiders coming off the first set victory, 25-21. And the second set about to go underway. Serving up first for Brownsville Lopez, number 13. Correction, number 10, Shalene Granado. Serving it up for the Lady Lobos. Rivera with the pickup. Here's the hit, picked up by Lopez. Lopez now looking for a counter. Powerful hit by number 4 and in. It was tipped by the Raiders, so that point will go to Lopez. A great way to start off the second set for Brownsville Lopez. Number 10, Shalene Granado up to serve still. Picked up by the libero of the Raiders. Raiders now with the setup. Gets blocked by Karen Rangel as they look to send it over the net, and they do. Lopez looking for the setup here with the attack. And the Raiders struggling a little bit, but do get over the net. Lopez now with a chance to respond. Karen Rangel tips it over the defender. And Raiders find a way to get over the net again. Lopez now by Cortinas, but goes out of bounds. Point goes to Brownsville Rivera on the out of bounds hit. Serving for the Lady Raiders, libero number 1, Tiffany Garza. As some indication on the Lopez side will reward the Raiders another point. Rivera now up 2-1. In comes the serve, picked up by the Lobos. Goes a bit too far. Will it be enough to send it over? No, it won't. Point goes to Rivera again. And there seems to be an injured Lobo player, so we're going to take a look at that. In the meantime, let's review the highlights of the first set. No breaks here on this set here. As the Raiders now with the setup and the attack, and a great hit by Zandria Johnson. Up by Lopez. Here's the setup now. Fake setup. Doesn't get it. Point to Lopez. Stephanie Ochoa. And the Raiders now looking for a way to bounce back. That's going to be in. A great hit. And picked up by the Lady Lobos. Here's the setup. In the attack. And it's going to go far back. And point goes to Brownsville Lopez. Set up. Another powerful hit by number 24, Zandria Johnson. That'll give the Raiders an extended lead. And we are back on from the highlights. The injured player is still down, so we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. The injured Lobo seems to be number 4, Stephanie Medina. We hope she's able to be in good health and return to the game. So we're gonna go to commercial break. When we come back, Brownsville Rivera up 3-1. You are watching the RSL Network.
TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us.
Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Cameron County has emerged as one of the most promising regions in Texas. We're experiencing unprecedented growth. New infrastructure projects are being developed. We're a leader in spaceflight research and have become an energy export powerhouse. Let's keep Eddie Trevino as our Cameron County judge.
And we are back on the RSL Network as Stephanie Medina slowly makes her way to the bench, assisted by the trainer and Coach Nieto. So, hoping the injury isn't too serious and that she is able to return to the court. As the fans make a gradual round of applause in favor of her health. We're getting set to resume play here. Lady Raiders up early here in the second set, 3-1. Official blows the whistle and we return. Serve goes too far for the libero of the Lady Lobos. Point goes to Brownsville Rivera. Still serving for the Lady Raiders, the libero, number 1, Tiffany Garza. In comes the serve, picked up by the Lobos. Here's the setup, a powerful hit, and it will go through. Great hit by Karen Rangel. And serving now for the Lady Lobos, number 23, Kaylee Granado. Raiders now with the setup, the attack by number 30. Gets over the line, and that'll go to the Lady Lobos. Brianna almost getting that point in there for the Raiders, but steps over the line. That'll give the point to Lopez. Raiders now looking for a chance to counter. Johnson gets it over the line, and that'll be out of bounds as Lopez evens the game now, 4-piece. Lopez with the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. There's Johnson again with the hit, picked up by Lopez. Lopez now with the response. Cortinas with the hit. And the Raiders able to catch it before it goes through. Lopez now with the setup. Just gonna lob it over the net, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders now with the response. Hit and in. Substitution now being made. In comes number 17, Mia Guerrero, and number 21, Cassandra Pardo. And who's serving? Cassandra Pardo. During the first set, she had an 8-point run on her serve. Let's see how she does here now. Rivera up to serve. Picked up by the Lobos. Quick shift over and in. Great hit by Brownsville Lopez. As we take a look at that replay, a great response there by the Lobos defense will give them that point. Great awareness by number 10 on Lopez. Raiders looking for the response from the serve. Gets it over the net, but out of bounds. Brownsville Lopez with the lead yet again. And the lob over for the last for the previous point was number 10, Shalene Granado. Great work by her efforts there. Serving for the Lady Lobos, number 13, Karen Rangel. In comes the serve. Raiders able to pick it up. Here's the setup, the attack. Short, but picked up by Lopez. Lopez now with the response. Raiders pick it up easily. And counter with a missed hit. Brownsville Lopez, 2-point lead now. As Karen Rangel is still set to serve. Serve goes over the net, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup. A big hit, but won't get through the net. Point goes to Brownsville Lopez. Some miscues now on the Raiders side. Frustration a little bit on the coaching staff from Coach Guerra. As Brownsville Lopez serves it again over the net. Here come the Raiders now with the attack. Do get the roll in their favor, and that will go through. Hit was made by number 21, Cassandra Pardo. Raiders now only down by 2. And serving for the Raiders, Jocelyn Vela, number 22. Brownsville Lopez get the lob over the net, give the Raiders a chance for the setup. A good awareness of the hit there. A shaky setup there, but a good adjustment made by number 24, Zandria Johnson, for the point. Rivera now down by 1. In comes the serve, nearly missed, and gets 1, 2, third one does go over. As the Lady Raiders set it up quick, and in. A great hit by Zandria Johnson yet again. Look at that replay there as the Lady Lobos get it over the net as they quickly set this one up and get the point through for Zandria. Lady Raiders with the serve, picked up by the Lobos. Lobos looking for the hit. Do get it over the net, but quickly picked up and set up as the Raiders get a chance for the return now. That's going to go out of bounds, and that point will go to Brownsville Lopez. So the Raiders taking advantage of the Lopez reaction to the ball. They notice that it takes them a little while to get themselves back up from the floor, try to set up really quick and take advantage of that awareness there. So Rivera with the return, picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the counter. Get a powerful hit and in. Nicely done by Brownsville Lopez. I believe it was Cortinas, but let's take a look at that replay. As the setup was nicely made there and in on the side there. Rivera with the return. Do get it over the net. Short. And Brownsville Rivera now only down by 1. Great placement of the ball there by number 24, Zandria Johnson. Zandria up to serve now for the Raiders. Here comes the set by the Lobos, and that's going to go out of bounds. And we have a tie game, 10 apiece. Raiders now, another setup. That's going to go too far and out of bounds. That will go to Brownsville Lopez. Substitutions being made on both ends. And Lopez up to serve. Nicely placed, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the attack, blocked, and a net violation against the Raiders. That will go to Brownsville Lopez. Lopez now with the serve, and an ace! Nicely done by number 15, Jasmine Cortinas. Let's take a look at that highlight of the ace there. A bit forward over that libero for a chance to return that. And we'll give the extended lead to the Lady Lobos. Rivera with the setup. Powerful hit, but picked up by Lopez. Great pickup by Stephanie Ochoa on the Lopez side. And here come the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. Powerful hit, picked up by Lopez. Lopez for the counter. Blocked, but goes out of bounds. That's going to go to Lopez yet again. Coach Guerra pumping up her team, keep themselves composed as they try to put themselves back up on the board. Lopez with the serve, nearly missed again there. And the hit will go in favor of Rivera as the blockers did get a tip in there. Substitution now. In comes number 30, Brianna Ibarra, the other weapon on the greater side of the court. And serving for Rivera, Cassandra Pardo. In comes the serve and out. Great awareness by the libero of the Lady Lobos to build themselves up back up by 4. Paola Solis now with the serve. Gets it over the net, picked up by the libero. Rivera on the attack, picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the fake setup, picked up by the Raiders. And here's their response. And the tip will go out of bounds, and point goes to Rivera. Coach Guerra giving some suggestions on the blocking there from the subbed out player, assuring her that what she needs to do will get us back in this game as the Raiders set up the serve. Lopez with the response. Karen Rangel lobs it over to the other end, but picked up by the Raiders. Raiders now with the hit, picked up by Lopez. Here's the counter. Karen Rangel gets the lob over from the tip and in. Point there to Lopez will extend their lead up by 4. And the serve doesn't go over the net. That point will go to Brownsville Rivera. Rivera up to serve now. Gets it over the net, picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup. A little bit too far for Karen Rangel, and that's gonna go in. Looked like it was gonna go out, but does touch the line, and that'll give the Lady Lobos the point. Lopez serving over the net, picked up by the libero. Raiders with the setup by Xander Johnson. Powerful hit, and a point goes to Rivera. As we take a look of that replay, as substitutions are being made. Good setup there. Xandra using every ounce of power to get those Raiders in for the point. Serving for Rivera, I believe, is number 17. That's going to be Mia Guerrero. As the Lady Lobos able to recover the serve. Gets it over the net, picked up by Rivera. Rivera now with the setup. Lobs it over to an open land and will get the point. Great awareness by Rivera there on that last point. Raiders now with the serve. Picked up by the Lobos. Here's the setup. Karen Rangel with the hit, blocked by Xandria Johnson. And let's take a look at that play there. Great block wall there from the Raiders side as Karen Rangel was near and doesn't get it through. Raiders with the serve, picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup. Karen's just gonna lob it over Xandria. Rivera with the return. Here she comes, lobs it over in return as Lopez quickly sends it over the net. Rivera with the setup, powerful hit, but picked up by Lopez. Great pickup by number 23 of Lopez, Kaylee Granado, as she sets it up again and picked up by Lopez. Lopez now with the response, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders get Xandria through as she powers through Karen's wall, and she gets the point for Rivera. Tie game, 17 apiece. We've seen this before in the first set. We're seeing it again in the second set. Raiders now up to serve. Gets it over the net, picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the setup. Just gonna lob it over due to the poor setup there. Raiders with a chance. And would have maybe gone out of bounds, but gets touched and out. And Rivera's back in the lead. Some miscues on the Lopez side will give the Raiders the 1-point lead again. Mia Guerrero still serving for the Lady Raiders. In comes the serve. Picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup. Cortinas with the powerful hit, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the return. And hit, picked up by Lopez. Near the net, just gonna send it over. Great awareness there on the Lopez side as the Raiders don't get it over the net. Point goes to Lopez. Coach Guerra letting her player know we got to keep it up. We got to get those setups in. And serving for the Lady Lobos, none other than the Karen Rangel. Lopez with the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup, Zandria with the hit, and in! A powerful ace for Rivera. All gas, no brakes coming from Zandria, as she will give the Raiders the lead yet again. Number 22 serving for the Lady Raiders, that's Jocelyn Vela. As Lopez gets the hit, but it will go out of bounds. And Rivera extend their lead up by 2. Raiders serving it up fast after the whistle, trying to give less of a breathing room for Lopez to react. Raiders now with the setup. Here's Andrea. That's going to be in yet again. Zandria Johnson is no joke here in the second set here, as Rivera now builds on a 3-point lead. In comes the serve, will go out of bounds. Point goes to Brownsville Lopez. Serving for the Lady Lobos, I believe, is number 5. Stephanie Ochoa, here's the setup, and in again. You already know, Zandria Johnson with the point there for the Lady Raiders. If I'm Brownsville Lopez, I'm trying to figure out what I can do to avoid Zandria with those opportunities. Powerful serve will force that ball out of bounds. And Brownsville Rivera builds their lead. Coach Nieto calls a timeout. 23-19. We'll be back on the RSL Network.
We're experiencing unprecedented growth. New infrastructure projects are being developed. We're a leader in spaceflight research and have become an energy export powerhouse. Let's keep Eddie Trevino as our Cameron County judge.
At Tortilleria Ibanez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibanez, tradition on every plate.
The standard of excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. For your Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
And we're back on the RSL Network. Coming off the timeout from Brownsville Lopez. The Raiders up by 4. Raiders looking for the setup here. A hit. And picked up by Lopez. Sends it far off the court. Just going to lob this one over. Up high for the Raiders now. Here's the setup for Zandria Johnson. Just going to lob it over. Picked up by Lady Lobos. With a powerful hit, but will go out of bounds. Set point yet again for Brownsville Rivera. Serving for the Lady Raiders is none other than the Zandria Johnson. Zandria with the serve. Gets it over the net, but will go out of bounds. I believe that's going to be her second error from her serves here in this set. And coach will put her on the bench to rest her up for a possible set 2 clincher as the Lady Lobos set it up here. Picked up by the Liberos. Here's the setup. Hit by number 5. Nearly gets it through for the lead there. And the Lady Lobos lob it over. Raiders now for the counter. Here's the attack. And in! Great hit by number 21. That was Cassandra Pardo. And the Lady Raiders win set number 2. 25-20. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll pull up the highlights from this second set, and we'll be back on the RSL Network. Brownsville Rivera up 2-0.
At Marine Military Academy, we educate those who dare to achieve. Those eager to control their future before it controls them. Those who can follow a path so they can eventually make their own. Those ready to join in order to stand out. Welcome to MMA, forging tomorrow's leaders.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
And we are back on the RSO Network as we're getting set for set number 3. We're going to pull up the highlights for you from the second set. And when we return from the highlights, we'll get the third set underway. You're watching the RSO Network. Picked up by Lopez. Lopez now looking for a counter. Powerful hit by number 4 and in. It was tipped by the Raiders, so that point will go to Lopez. Picked up by the Lobos. Quick shift over and in. Great hit by Brownsville Lopez. The return picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the counter. Get a powerful hit and in by the libero. Raiders with the setup by Xander Johnson. Powerful hit and a point goes to Rivera. Picked up by the Lobos. Here's the setup. Karen Rangel with the hit blocked by Xander Johnson. Lopez with the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup, Xandre with the hit, and in! A powerful ace for Rivera. And we'll have to cut off the highlights a little sooner. We'll see if we can pull them back up during a timeout break as the Lady Raiders quickly get the first point in here in this third set. A great immediate pickup there by the Lady Raiders. Said, forget the setup, we just want the point and just give it to us already. Raiders with the serve. Picked up by the Lady Lobos. Here's the setup. Karen Rangel over the blocker. Xander Johnson. As the Raiders hit with the return. Will go too far out to be returnable. And Rivera, 2-0 lead. Coach Nieto showing her libero the quick adjustment needed to return. Lopez, quick setup over the net. Sends it over. Rivera with the setup for Xandria. Gets it over Karen Rangel and too far for the Lady Lobos. Point goes to the Raiders. An early 3-0 lead so far here in the third set as the libero of the Raiders is serving. Tiffany Garza with the serve. Lady Lobos with the pickup. Here's the attack. And in. Powerful hit there by number 15. That's going to be Jasmine Cortinas. Serving now for the Lady Lobos, number 10. That's going to be Shalene Granado. Lady Raiders with the point there by who other than Xandria Johnson. As the Lady Raiders now have number 17, Mia Guerrero up to serve. In comes the serve. Picked up by the Lobos. Here's the setup here, the attack. Lobs it over and in. Great awareness by Karen Rangel to give the Lady Lobos now only down by 2. Serving for the Lady Lobos, number 23, Kaylee Granado. As the Lady Raiders look to set this one over the net. Get the deflection off the net and in. Rivera now up 5-2. In comes the serve, picked up by the Lady Lobos, and that's going to go far again. Lady Raiders now up 6-2. And Rivera with the serve does get over the net and not able to be returned again. Back-to-back consecutive aces for Mia Guerrero and the Lady Raiders. Serve and ace. Coach Nieto said, I've seen enough. Call a timeout. Brownsville Rivera, 8-2 early lead here in the third set. We're going to finish showing you the highlights, and then we'll go to a quick commercial break. Stick with us here in the Arsenal Network. Picked up by Lopez. Lopez now looking for a counter. Powerful hit by number 4 and in. It was tipped by the Raiders, so that point will go to Lopez. Picked up by the Lobos. Quick shift over and in. Great hit by Brownsville Lopez. The return picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the counter. Get a powerful hit and in. By the libero. Raiders with the setup by Xander Johnson. Powerful hit. And a point goes to Rivera. Picked up by the Lobos. Here's the setup. Karen Rangel with the hit. Blocked by Xander Johnson. Lopez with the serve. Picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup. Xandria with the hit. And in! A powerful ace for Rivera. To react. Raiders now with the setup. Here's Andrea. And we are back on the Arsenal Network. The serve made by Mia Guerrero goes too far out of bounds. That point will be given to Brownsville Lopez as we have an 8-3 score here. And serving for the Lady Lobos now, Karen Rangel, number 13. Raiders with the pickup. Here's the setup, Xandria Johnson. Oh, and a nice return by number 21 there. Cassandra Pardo with the hit. Cortina is trying to send that return early, but picked up by Pardo is going to get that point in there. The serve by Xander Johnson again doesn't go through. That'll give the point to the Lady Lobos. Rivera up by 5. Lady Lobos looking for a way to come back in this third set. Gonna send it over the net, picked up by Lopez. Here's the setup. The attack won't go over the net. Point goes to the Raiders. Serving now for Brownsville Rivera, number 21, Cassandra Pardo, who had an 8-point serve run back in the first set. Don't get the return there. Point goes to Brownsville Rivera. Pardo with the serve. Picked up by Lopez. Libero gets it this time. Lopez sends it over the net. Picked up by Rivera. Here's the setup. Here's the attack by number 30. Picked up by Lopez. Lopez now with the return. Cortinas with the hit. Picked up by the Raiders. Raiders lob it over the net. Picked up by Lopez. And here's the counter. Lopez with the hit. Picked up by the libero of the Raiders, Garza. And number 30, Ibarra with the hit. Gets it over the net. Picked up by Lopez. Lopez hits it back. Would have gone out of bounds, but gets picked up by the Raiders. They're okay with it as they send it back over the net. Lopez picks it up. Here comes a good sequence, folks. Cortinas gets it over the net, and the Raiders for a chance to return. A good hit there, picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the response. Picked up by Rivera. Here we go, folks. Number 30, Barra again with the hit, picked up by Lopez. Lopez, here's the setup, fakes the setup, and Rivera picks it up. Raiders now with the return. Great dive there by the Lady Lobos as they send this one over the net. Rivera with the ball now. Here's the setup, here's the hit. Picked up by Lopez. The block does deflect the power, and they send this one over the net. They do. Great tip by Ibarra as the libero Garza sends it over the net. Lopez now with the setup. Here's the counter. Picked up and in. Great sequence there. And in the end, Brownsville Lopez keep their foot on the gas to give themselves the point. So the Lady Lobos up to serve. Cortinas with the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup. Ibarra with the attack. Powerful and not able to be returned. That point's going to go to Brownsville Rivera. Substitution being made. In comes number 23 now, Elisa Cuellar for the Lady Raiders. Serving for the Lady Raiders now is number 13, Gianna Cantu. And the Raiders with a 7-point lead early on in this third set. Raiders with the serve, picked up by the libero. Here's the setup. Not a good setup, just lobs it over the net. Lady Raiders now with the return. Big hit and picked up by libero again. Lopez now with the attack, picked up by Rivera. Here's the response by Ibarra, blocked by the Lobos as the Raiders send it off and in. Raiders said, you can have the block, but I'll take the point here. And Brownsville Rivera showing the Lady Lobos and the rest of the district they mean business. Lopez with the attack, picked up by the libero of the Raiders. Just gonna lob this one over. Lopez now with a chance to counter. Great hit and in. A great play there by number 2, Paola Solis, to give the Lobos the point there. As we take a look at that replay, Raiders send it off. Here's the setup. And a powerful hit there by Solis. Solis now serving for the Lobos. Rivera with the setup. Here's the attack. The deflection a little bit too far back. They're going to send this one over, and they do. Picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. Here's the attack, deflected, and net violation. Point will go to the Lady Lobos. Substitution now being made for Rivera. In comes number 8. That's going to be Amy Rocha. As the Lady Lobos still serving. Number 2, Paola Solis. In comes the serve. Picked up by the Raiders. Good pickup by the libero, Garza. Hit gets deflected by the block there. Lady Lobos now with the return. Picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the chance to respond. Again deflected by Karen Rangel as the Raiders look for another setup. Nearly gets it blocked. 2 Lobo players trying to get for the ball, but won't be enough. And the Raiders putting back in Zandria Johnson. Definitely want to keep an eye on for her. Libero serving, picked it up by the Lobos. Lobos with the setup. Karen's just gonna lob it over, but there is a net violation against the Raiders, and that'll go to Lopez. Serving for the Lady Lobos, number 10. That's gonna be Shalene Granado on a substitution. Now in comes number 23, Kaylee Granado. Raiders with the setup, Zandria Johnson, powerful hit, and in. Zandria Johnson, a force to be reckoned with here in this game. Serving now for the Lady Raiders, number 17. That's going to be Mia Guerrero. And Brownsville Lopez sends it over the net, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders now with the setup. Sends it over the net, picked up by Lopez. Lopez, a chance to respond. Sends it in. Nicely put in by the Lady Lobos. And serving for Brownsville Lopez now, number 23, Kaylee Granado. In comes the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup, gonna send this one over, picked up by Lopez. Lopez with the setup, Cortinas with the hit over the net. Picked up by Johnson, here's the setup. Number 21 with the attack and in! Great ball placement by 21, Cassandra Pardo. Another weapon on that Raider offense will give them up by 7. Great serve, that's gonna give her an ace. Elisa Cuellar on the serve there. And Raiders up by 8. And correct me if I'm wrong, that is the biggest lead of the entire match. And the serve doesn't go through, that point will go to Brownsville Lopez. Substitution now, in comes number 2 for the Lady Lobos, Paola Solis. And serving for the Lady Lobos, Karen Rangel. Karen with the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. There she goes, folks, Johnson. As the Lobos able to respond, that's going to go out of bounds. And point goes to the Lady Raiders. Substitution now, Libero is going to go to the bench. And in comes number 5. That's going to be Kiara Parker. As Zandria Johnson makes her way up to serve. Another miscue on the serve there. Point's going to go to Brownsville Lopez. It won't matter to her anyways as the Raiders have a 7-point lead. Serving for the Lady Lobos, number 5. Stephanie Ochoa. And the Raiders with a powerful hit there by the sub, number 5, Kiera Parker. And the Lady Raiders, here they come with the setup. Powerful hit picked up by the Lady Lobos. Looked like it hit her in the face, but it doesn't. As the Raiders look for the setup. Kiera Parker, in goes the ball for the Lady Raiders. Substitution being made. In comes number 8, Amy Rocha for the Lady Raiders. As Cassandra Pardo is now up to serve for the Raiders. Pardo with the serve. Picked up by the Lobos as they send this one over the net. Raiders with a chance to respond. Kiera Parker gets blocked, met in the middle there as the Raiders send this one over the net. Lobos now with the setup. Powerful hit and in. Lady Raiders a little late to react on the return there. And substitution being made. In comes number 45 now, Hannibal Blanco. Raiders, correction, Lobos up to serve. Picked up by the Libero. Here's the setup. Powerful hit by the Lady Raiders, picked up by Lopez. Libero with the setup. Just going to send this one over. Rivera, here's the setup. And the hit by Kiera is going to go out of bounds. Point goes to Brownsville Lopez. Serving for the Lady Lobos. Number 15, Jasmine Cortinas. In comes the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the attack, gonna go too far now. And Lopez shortens the lead of the Raiders, now only down by 5. Coach Guerra will call timeout, is aware of the deflection. And we'll go to a commercial break. When we return, Lady Lobos down by 5. Let's see if they can make a comeback here. Stick with us here on the RSO Network.
Be a doctor.
I want to play professional soccer.
I want to play at Carnegie Hall.
At Brownsville ISD, dreams take shape with nationally recognized academic programs, championship athletics, and distinguished fine arts. Success isn't just a goal, it's our tradition. The best choice for your child's journey is Brownsville ISD.
And we are back on the RSO Network. Brownsville Rivera, all gas, no brakes here in this matchup. Have a 5-point lead over Brownsville Lopez, 19-14, as the Raiders only needing to push for 6 more points to close out this third set and walk away with a 3-0 set victory over the Lady Lobos. Lopez up to serve by number 15, Jasmine Cortinas. In comes the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup and the hit, and in. Great powerful hit by number 5, Kiera Parker. And the Raiders now only needing 5. Substitution being made on the Raiders side. In comes 23, Elisa Cuellar. Serving for the Lady Raiders, number 13, Gianna Cantu. In comes the serve, picked up by the Lobos, a little bit too far. As the Raider, or the Lobo player was a little slow to get up there. Raiders with the hit, whistle's blown. It'll be a jump ball error, so we'll replay the point. Official thought there was a net violation, there wasn't. He owns up to that mistake, so we'll replay the point. Raiders with the serve. Deflection being made poorly by the Lobos, but picked up, sends it over the net. Raiders with a chance to return it. Here comes the attack, and that's going to go out of bounds. Point goes to Brownsville Lopez. In comes 13, carrying it on head for the Lady Lobos. Curious to know why Coach Guerra doesn't want Xandria Johnson back in there and or Brianna Ibarra, their top weapons in this matchup. Raiders with the setup. Sends it over the net, picked up by the Lobos. Lobos setting it up. Here's the attack. Picked up by Rivera with the return now. Sends it to the other end of the court. Lopez quickly sends it over the net and gives the Raiders a chance for the setup. Hit by number 8, picked up by the Lady Lobos as they hit the return now. Picked up by Libero, Tiffany Garza. Here come the Raiders. Raiders not able to get that one through. 3-touch deflection won't go through. Point goes to Brownsville Rivera. Now in comes Xandria Johnson to close this match as the Raiders now only needing 4. Raiders with the serve. Picked up by the Lady Lobos. Lobos with the setup. Here's the hit. Picked up by Rivera. Rivera with the setup. The attack by Xandria goes too far out, and that'll go to Brownsville Lopez. Lopez could be their last chance to build some momentum here. In comes the serve by number 10. As the Lady set this up, here's the attack. No help off the deflection. That point will go to Rivera. And a substitution being made. In comes 21 and 17. That's Mia Guerrero and Cassandra Pardo. Again, trying to close this matchup here in the third set. Rivera only needing 3. Serving for the Lady Raiders is number 17, Mia Guerrero. As the Lobos send this one over the net. Block between Karen and Xandria. They're going to get it through the net as the Lady Lobos set it up now. Blocked by Xandria, deflects the power of the hit by Karen. Here she goes with the return, picked up by the Lady Lobos. Lopez now with the setup. Soft tap over the net, picked it up by Raiders. Raiders with the hit. Deflection too strong as the Lady Lobos control it enough to get it over the net. Rivera with the near miss, tips it in by Karen Rangel and in. A great sequence on that point there for Brownsville Lopez. Now down by 5. Serving for the Lady Lobos, number 23, Kaylee Granada. Serve goes over the net, picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. Xandria Johnson, picked up by Lopez. Lopez now with the return. Karen Rangel lobs it over Xandria as the Raiders come for the attack. Blocked by Karen Rangel, and a great point for Brownsville Lopez. A great net matchup between Karen Rangel and Xandria Johnson as these two ladies are going back and forth at it on the net. Raiders now with the setup. There's Xandria. Correction, that is going to be 21. Cassandra Pardo with the attack and give the Raiders the point. Rivera now only needing 2. Here comes the serve, picked up by the Lobos. A big attack there forces Xandria to tap it, but gets a double tap, so that point will go to the Lady Lobos. Substitution being made. In comes number 2 now for Lopez, Paola Solis. And serving it up for the Lady Lobos, Karen Rangel. As the official is going to call a quick little timeout to confirm the players on both sides of the courts. Look, everything looks good. Play on. Karen Rangel up to serve. In comes the serve, picked up by the Raiders. Here's the setup for Xandria. Correction, number 21, Cassandra, and in. Great hit there by Cassandra Pardo to give the Raiders the match point. Substitution being made. In comes number 5, Kara Parker. Coach Guerra sending in all her weapons in for this point. And serving for the Lady Raiders, Xandria Johnson. In goes the serve, picked up by the Lobos. Lobos just going to send this one over the net. Playing it safe. Raiders full attack. And picked up by the Lady Lobos. Lobos send it over to the Raiders. Here comes the boom. And out of bounds. Point goes to Brownsville Lopez. A little bit too far in the attack there by Xandria. They're going to send her to the bench. And in comes the libero, Tiffany Garza. Serving for the Lady Lobos, Stephanie Ochoa. Gets it over the net. Picked up by the Raiders. Raiders with the setup. Blocked, and point goes to the Lady Lobos. Lady Lobos starting to build some momentum to keep themselves alive in this third set as they put their foot on the gas. Raiders with the attack. And a powerful hit and in by number 5, Kiera Parker. So Brownsville Rivera closes out this game here on a 3-0 set victory over Brownsville Lopez. 25-21, 25-20, 25-21 is your score here as the Lady Raiders are now undefeated still in district play. The next matchups for both these teams, the Raiders are going up against Donna this coming Tuesday at Donna. That's going to be at 7. And the Lady Lobos are going to be at home against Brownsville Pace on Tuesday. Two great matchups coming up for both these teams. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in to this great matchup. Final score, Brownsville Rivera wins it 3-0. And the Raiders looking to close out district play and possibly win the district title. This is Nacho signing off. I want to wish everybody a happy weekend.